Read.
But Sheba, the daughter of King Jehoram, and sister Ahab, took Joab, son of Ahab, and stole away from among the royal princes who were about to be murdered. She put him and his nurse in a bedroom to hide him from Attila. She was not killed. He remained hidden with his nurse in the temple of the Lord for 6 years while Attila ruled the land.
8, go to 8 verse.
11.
8, verse 8.
Verse 8.
That's all I want.
Station yourself around the king, each man with his weapon in his hand. Anyone who approaches your ranks must be put to death. Stay close to the king wherever he goes.
I want y'all to point a hand at Bishop. Every leader that's in this house, I charge you today, wherever he goes, you go. Because it's time for you to protect the gift. Look at your neighbor and say, protect the gift. I want to talk to you today from a subject, I can't hide who I am any longer. Just for a short moment, I want to use that for a topic. Look at your neighbor and say, I can't hide who I am any longer. I know you don't understand where I come from. A lot of folks can't deal with where you've been. But I want you to understand that you can't keep sitting around hiding from your assignment. Come on, somebody. But here he is in this text. I want you to understand that everybody that God has called in this hour, God has deposited something in them which is called potentials. Look at your neighbor and say potentials. Potentials is the dormant ability that lies untouched. See, what I mean by potentials is this. Potentials is what has made the grave a millionaire. Many people wondering what I'm talking about. The grave is one of the wealthiest places in this world. Because what lies beneath the surface of the ground is great potentials. What I mean by potentials, I'm talking about songs that have never been heard or sung. Come on, somebody. I'm talking about books that was never written. Come on, somebody. I'm talking about ministries that will never be birthed. Why? Because they came into a place to be, to fulfill their purpose, but they died with the potential still trapped inside of them. Come on, somebody. Look at your neighbor and say, you can't die yet. You can't die yet. There's still so much in you that God is trying to get out of you. See, what we got to understand is that in this hour, God is looking for somebody to release their potential in the earth. But as we deal with the text, I want you to understand that there's a problem now that has always been in the body. Athaliah, she was the king's grandmother. Ahab was the king that was in position. That's why I say I want to talk to you leaders, because anytime you come up under assignment to any ministry that you assign yourself to, you got to be subject to the authority of that house. But what I want you to understand here in this text is that when you come into ministry, don't get like the king.
Come on down.
Let me give you a little history. The king was removed from position because we get so big-headed and think it's all about us. And what we do, my brother, what God has called us to do, we stop doing.
Come on now. Come on now.
Oh, because why? You got a position. Anytime you get in leadership and you begin to stop worshiping God, the one that God has created you to worship, and now you run around want to be worshipped, God will remove you out of position. We sometimes wonder what happened with Satan. Many people that preach that he became prideful. I agree. Many people say he tried to take over the kingdom of God. I agree. But this is what many people don't preach. Satan could never take over something